Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dear students, today we are going to deal with an important topic, that is important issues of the story The Servant by S.T. Simeonov. So let's begin. The first issue is that may be asked in your final examination. Sketch the character of Gerasim. It is a very important issue. So how will you answer this question? The first and foremost thing about the character of Gerasim is that, as you know, that he is belonged to peasantry class and he spends most of his time in Moscow. Okay. Although he does not find a job after losing the job, we find him as a humble character throughout the story. Number one. Number two, he is very kind, he is very loving. So, how is he kind and how is he loving? You have to prove that by narrating the story of Polycopich and his wife when he feels sorry towards them, when his friend, that is Yegor, tells him that he is going to replace an old couple with him. He feels very kind and loving towards them. And we also realize that he comes forward as a self sacrificing person. How? Because although he is promised by Yegor to provide him a job, he just sacrifices his job at the cost of the old couple, because he knows that they cannot live comfortably in their old age. Okay, one thing more is important here, that is what is the effect of the conversation. So it is very important that while living, uh, he overhears the conversation between the old couple, and this conversation proves to be U-turn in his life. It changes his life completely, and he decides that he will never take the job, but he will assign the same job to the old couple. Okay. One thing more, he is very intelligent because he comes to know about wickedness of Yegor. Okay. When he comes to know that Yegor is very wicked, he is very cruel, he uses his glib tongue just to trap people. So finally, he comes to know that Yegor is deceiving him. Okay. One thing more, it is at the end of the story that we come to know that he has a heart of gold. When he stands face to face with Yegor and he tells him that he is not going to accept the job, on the contrary, Yegor rebukes him, abuses him, that he is such a coward. The second important issue is what are the different themes of the story. So when we come to the story, we find that we conclude that the main theme of the story is that selfishness is one of the greatest social evils. Okay? It is because of selfishness that a person turns bitter, a person turns unkind, and a person, by becoming selfish, is always in hunt of grabbing money, grabbing property by fear or foul means. Okay? It means that although a person may be well educated, but if he is selfish, this selfishness, it just makes his brain unable to think what is right and what is wrong. Whenever a selfish person has any aim, any goal, he will do anything. He can just do anything in order to achieve his goal, and such type of person does not care whether the way to achieve a goal is good or bad. Okay, because it is his mind that does not work because of this selfishness. Now, when we move towards the story, we find that yes, it is true that Igor tries to help Gerasim. Okay, but we find that it is not his helpful nature. It is not Igor's helpful nature. It is his cunningness. Okay, and we also come to know that when the selfishness is eradicated from a person or from society, it always gives and puts forth good. Its fruits are always good when we eradicate selfishness, when we abstain from selfishness. How? Because we come to know that at the end of the story, Gerasim, he does not try to become selfish because he knows that if he will be selfish, it will cost the life of old couple, okay, Polycopich and his wife. So by this way, you can just answer the question in simplest terms, and inshallah it will fetch you good marks. Okay, but keep in mind the characters of Igor, Gerasim and old couple while answering this question. Okay, and one of the most important issues of the lesson is that you have to compare and contrast characters of Gerasim and Igor, okay, who was a coachman. So how will you contrast these characters? It is so simple. One thing is common among them. That is, the common thing is that they belong to a single village. Okay, they are from a single village. Both are from a single village. This is the only similarity between them. But when you talk about their characters are totally opposite to one another. How? Because we find that Gerasim is humble. Okay, Gerasim is loving. So, with the help of this chart, we can contrast their characters. We find that Gerasim is humble. Okay, but Igor is proud. He is cunning. Gerasim is loving, but Igor is unfeeling. He has not any feeling of love towards the old couple, towards his fellow human beings. Okay. So we find that Gerasim is simple-hearted, but Igor is stone-hearted. Okay. Gerasim is kind and Igor is unkind. Gerasim is self-sacrificing, but Igor is selfish. Then you will just give it the touch of story. Okay, in order to prove these qualities of both characters. So by this way, you can compare and contrast the characters of Gerasim and Igor. Inshallah, these issues will help you a lot in your final examination. Okay, so you need to learn these issues and prepare them while revising this story, all the contents of the story by heart. So inshallah, I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care and fi amanillah.